And don't feel the need to start buying more until you've first taken a look at what you already have. Hi, I'm Paige Killian, and I'm passionate about helping busy moms of littles get organized in 3 simple steps. So here's today's organization motivation. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for another episode of the Mom's Organization Motivation Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about organizing for the holidays. If you are deciding to have holidays where you are inviting people into your home, or you're going to keep it nice and small this year, I wanted to talk about 3 things that we could focus on that would really help us get in the right mindset of getting organized for the holidays. Okay. So 1, I want to talk about your decor. Where are you storing it? How are you storing it? Is it easily accessible to get to when you need it? Also, do you have a million things that it's time to go? So we're going to talk about decor. We're also going to talk about your schedule and how can we put things in on the front end and have realistic expectations around what we're going to do for our schedule so that it works best for everyone in the family. And finally, I want to talk about asking for help. It's really important to delegate responsibilities when it comes to preparing for the holidays. So not only does everybody feel like they have a job, but things are getting done and you don't feel like you have to take it all on yourself, even if you could, because I know you can. It's really nice to be able to ask other people for help. Okay, let's dive in. So let's talk about decor first. What does your decor situation look like for the Thanksgiving season? For the holiday season, which is going to be either Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. Then we've got New Year's coming up. I mean, all of these things, you might want to have a specific place in your home where you're housing this decor. But sometimes when we're not properly storing these things, it becomes a total pain when it's time to get this stuff back out or put it away. So I want to ask you first, what does your situation look like right now? It's really important to use whatever space you have. Pick the right containers to put in that space so that you can have that easy access. Okay. So if we're talking about you organizing your decor underneath your stairway, then you want to make sure that you have small enough bins that fit if it has that weird slant to it. Okay. This could be the same, honestly, if you have an attic space that has those slanted walls as well, that kind of limits your vertical space. You know, sometimes you miss that opportunity, but you may actually be organizing your decor in the garage. You actually might want to organize these items going vertically and maximizing that vertical space. So just think about first, where am I going to actually be housing this stuff? If you have a small space, maybe it makes sense for you to even be keeping decor under some beds because that's out of sight, and then you're not having to pull things out from under your bed all the time. So you might need to use that if you've got a small storage space. Maybe if you are not a person who uses a ton of like linen storage space and you have an actual linen closet, maybe it makes sense for half of that to house your towels and your sheets, and then the other half to be holiday decor. So first, just take a look at the space and make sure you have chosen the right bins to go in that space. Perhaps it's not just the Christmas tree stuff, it's like the ornaments and the outside decorations that you want to make sure that you have in those storage bins that have the wheels so you can lug those to where you need those to be as well. Okay, so let's also talk about what's going to go in those storage boxes. Do you really need the same decorations that you've had in the 90s now be what you've got going on today? I joked in a past episode over the holidays that I did last year that my mom and I think this was in the 80s, my mom and I decided that we were going to do wreaths and Christmas trees, and we were going to take all of these pink and baby blue, metallic, shiny little presents and hot glue them on all over the place. And then we were going to take these ribbons that were pink, and this pink, it was like a funky mauve. Okay. It's definitely the 80s. Mom, are you listening? Was it the 80s? I got to figure out when it was for sure. So the whole idea was we wanted to make the decor match our space. And guess what? We had a mauve and baby blue, and I think there's a white stripe in it too, plaid couch. That's where that came from. Then we had a corduroy blue recliner to match. Then we didn't stop there. We had a dining room that had wallpaper on the top of the chair rail that was a floral print with mauve and baby blue, and the chair rail, and then below it was the paint color that matched as well. So my mom's thought was, hey, let's have Christmas match our living room and our dining room. Awesome thoughts, Mom. And really make sure that we are styling our holiday decor so that it is all cohesive. Listen, she had the right idea. It was very cute at the time. And oh my goodness, were we super proud of ourselves when we hot glue gunned these items to the wreath and to the trees. We were so proud of ourselves and it looked beautiful. So what we decided to do was to then move on to probably red and green actual holiday decor colors. And that was totally fine. So if you are thinking, hey, I got a ton of holiday decor, but it is shoved back in the back of these storage places, whether it's garage or underneath your stairs in that closet. Sometimes you think, okay, I don't even want to deal with it. I'm just going to go buy more. And so then the decor compounds, you never do that good purge of the other stuff because it's not convenient to get to. Then you buy more, then you have to house more. So I'm challenging you today, as you are organizing for the holidays, to pull this stuff out, do a really good deep dive and purge into all of your stuff, get rid of anything that's obviously broken, anything that doesn't have a match. If batteries once upon a time worked in something, now they're all covered in battery acid. That happens when we're not using them often. Make sure you're disposing of that properly. And don't feel the need to start buying more until you've first taken a look at what you already have. All right, next, that's decor. We're done talking about that for the moment. Let's talk about schedule. What does your schedule look like whenever you're figuring out your plans for the holidays? The reason it's super important to be thinking about this well in advance is because maybe there are trips to plan. Holiday trips could include traveling. So are you going to be doing car rides with the family and you want to prepare some fun activities for that? Have some fun things that maybe you want to purchase ahead of time or assemble ahead of time in small containers so you can sort of drip drop those in the back seat for the kiddos to be playing with, have their amazing busy minds occupied so that you're not hearing, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I do love car bingo, by the way. That's a really fun one to do. And that's actually really fun for adults to see too. Also, maybe you are going to be flying this year. And if that's the case, you definitely want to jump on those deals for flights. So start looking at those now. It is a really good idea also to be looking at your kids' school calendar because you want to make sure that you are booking those flights way ahead of time. And so if you look at their school calendar and find out, do they have a half day this day? Are they completely out of school, on the Friday? And so, hey, we could actually leave, take a red eye that Friday night, or is it going to be a weekend affair? Ask for help. It's so important to delegate responsibilities when you are talking about preparing and organizing for the holidays, because it doesn't have to be a solo mission. You don't have to run the show all by yourself. So if you're going to be hosting, talk to the people who live in your home and say, this is the expectation, whether it's, making sure your rooms are cleaned up, whether it's making sure that they have a job the day of or the days before, like, taking the trash out or helping serve the people who are going to be there. Maybe you have your little ones on refill drink duty. Maybe you want them to say, can I get you something else to drink? And they can, take a drink over to them, or they can refill it and take it back to them. Maybe you need to have conversations about like, hey, we're going to have people in our home now, but we want to still make sure that the same rules apply. We're not going to be eating and drinking in these different parts of our home. Or maybe those rules are going to be more relaxed and you are going to be able to eat and drink in those spaces, but just for that day or just for that weekend. So having those conversations ahead of time, asking your family members who live in your home to contribute in a way that makes the most sense for them, that's age appropriate. And then also anybody that you are hosting, or if you're going to someone else's house that's hosting, but the kids are going to be going with you, or something like that, checking in with those people and saying, hey, I know you're so great at baking pies. I would love it if you could help contribute the desserts this year. Or you are the master magician when it comes to cutting the turkey. I would love, or the holiday ham, or whatever plant-based thing you're going to have, if it is not a big hunk of meat. Okay. I would say you're so great at carving this or cutting this or making a beautiful charcuterie board. Could you contribute that? Because sometimes when we feel like we have to take it all on ourselves, the fun in that sometimes becomes stressful, and it's not so fun. And the stress can actually outweigh the fun if we're not asking for help. Just think about how this could be arranged so that everybody in the family is contributing. And, maybe it makes sense if you're the person who runs the show when it comes to food. Maybe it makes sense to just have in the back of your mind, people do want to feel needed, and they don't always know when they're a guest in your home what they can do to help. And so maybe it just makes sense for you to be like, hey, I'm going to go do the dishes. Do you want to join me? They're going to say yes, even if they don't really feel like it. Cause who really loves doing the dishes? Not me. That's my least favorite chore. So asking somebody to do that, sometimes it can be just done so quickly. If you just have a bunch of people in to do that really quickly, maybe it makes sense to say, hey, when you guys are done, grab your plate and just go set it on the kitchen counter. There's nothing wrong with asking people to do that. Don't feel like you have to quickly finish eating, because then you need to stand up and you need to collect everybody's plates and put it, and then you need to bring new plates out because then it's dessert time. Maybe it makes sense for you this year to set up, a little bar or buffet station for people to be helping themselves. So just consider that. I will say, if you've got pets in the house, don't forget, don't walk away because they might be jumping up on that table to help themselves to your delicious meal. So, think about it. What are you guys doing with your decor, your holiday decor situation? Can you make sure that you are putting things in place so that it's easily accessible? Is it going to be convenient with wheeling it out? Are you going to be doing a good purge this year and getting rid of anything that maybe was awesome in years past, but maybe is not quite the style you're going for this year? Go ahead and tackle that now, well before you need to be doing it. So that way you can donate it to places so that they can be using that awesome holiday decor that you loved a couple years in the past. Also, scheduling, making sure that you are jumping on those deals, getting flights or preparing ahead with airplane surprises or car surprises and activities for the kids, making sure you got all your snacks so that you're not having to stop along the way and pay extra money because you're getting snacks. Having those already in your car or already on the plane with you is a great idea. So then finally, you're going to be asking for help. So make sure that you are delegating responsibilities and don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. People who are there and sharing the holidays with you, they want a job. They want to be able to help you out. It's more fun when we're doing stuff together. So don't be afraid to ask for help. All right. Hope these 3 tips will serve you well as you are organizing for the holidays. I look forward to talking to you next week for more organization motivation. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching this video. For more resources to organize and style your busy life in 3 simple steps, head over to everythingwithstyle.com and connect with me on Instagram at everythingwithstylemom. Don't forget to check out the Mom's Organization Motivation podcast over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of your favorite platforms. And if you loved this video, it would make me so happy if you would subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and happy organizing.